Hey, good morning, Facebook world. Welcome. This is where best breakfast ever, first of all, right? And where we shake up your wake up. We're changing breakfast and we're changing lives. It's really that simple. Eat the breakfast, feel amazing physically, use the opportunity, change your body or change your bank account physically, literally. It's the way it works, network marketing. Okay, so today we're going to continue on with our 150th healthiest foods on earth. Chocolate, vanilla chai, dairy-free, isolate shake. Mm, mm. All right, and today we're going to talk about turnips. I just had a conversation about turnips in the grocery store. It's kind of funny. Turnips! All right. So, according to Dr. Johnny Golden in our 150th Healthiest Foods, I don't know if he's a doctor, he's a PhD. Do we call him doctor? It says that turnips, turnips and rutabagas, which we'll talk about in a couple of pages here, says they're part of the cabbage family. They have the cancer-fighting indoles and isothiocyanates and other health-giving phytochemicals, and they're high in anti-carcinogenic glucosinolates, which means they're really good for you. Whenever they have those really big words, you know it's going to be good for you, right? I know, right? Okay, so it says turnip greens promote bone health. And I'm thinking, turnip greens, I don't know if I've ever seen turnip greens, but I have a really funny story about a friend that told me a story about them. So they are a high volume food that doesn't cost you a lot of calories, right? So a cup of cooked turnips is about 35 calories. Okay, so like nothing. 3 grams of fiber, 250 milligrams of potassium, 18 milligrams of vitamin C, 51 milligrams of calcium, and the greens, add the greens, and you're adding, that'll triple the calcium to 148 milligrams, and you get 14,000 IUs of vitamin A, and more than 8,000 IUs of beta-carotene, and incredible 676 micrograms of bone-friendly vitamin K. Dang, turnips are good for you. Eat the greens, right? There's also 15,000 micrograms of that lutein and zeaxanthin, that stuff that's really good for your eyes, right, for eye health. And it says, this is really interesting. It says turnip greens are sorry, I got sidetracked here because I'm thinking about my story. So turnips greens are sometimes available by themselves, usually next to the other greens like kales and collards. I don't see them here in Edmonton, right? And I don't know, like so a friend of mine, right? So not a personal friend, but a guy that I know because I've been studying him for a long time, Bob Proctor, tells a story about when him and his wife got together. So his wife is from Southern Florida, I believe, somewhere in the South, in the States, and he's from Canada. He's from Ontario. And they had this whole conversation about one eats the turnips and one eats the greens. And like, they were like, we give the greens to our pigs. And she's like, well, we give the turnips to our pigs as food. So it was really interesting how different people have different reasons and, they're just things that they did, right? And it says grated raw turnips are a great digestive aid along with radish and daikon and are good for general detoxification. So this story about eating the turnips versus the greens is one of those things where we kind of get caught in a rut, right? We like there's this old story that says, a man was watching his wife make a ham for Christmas dinner, and she cuts off the end, sticks it in the pot, and cooks the ham. And he's like, we've been together a really long time, and you always cut off the ends of the ham. He's like, why do you do that? And she says, my mother did it, my grandmother did it. It's the way you cook a ham. So he's like, yeah, I don't know. So he goes to the mother, and he says, hey, mother, like, why does my wife cut off the ends of the ham? And she says, I do it. My mother did it. My daughter does it. It's the way we do it. He's like, I don't get it. So he goes to the grandmother, and he goes, grandmother, my wife does this. Her mother does this. And they say, you do this. What is the reason for doing that? Oh, honey, it's easy. My pan was never big enough for the ham. Right? They cut off the ends. They don't know why. They just did it. So the reason I tell you that story today is we don't know why we eat certain foods. It's just something we've always done. I never really knew you could eat the tops of turnips. So now it says if you ever find them at the farmer's market, right, ask your farmer to keep the tops on the turnips. because there's tons of nutritional value in there. Or if you live in a place that only sells turnips and you haven't eaten the bottom of the turnip, then eat the bottom too. Like, it's just eat food, people. Have an amazing day. Amazing day.